Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with a new video on Pokemon Sword and Shield because we got some crazy moveset changes with Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I believe this just hints towards the DLC that comes out in both June and November. So I'll just read this off of Cerebi real quick so you understand what the hell we're doing. Pokemon Sword and Shield have many Pokemon missing, duh. However, with the release of Pokemon Home, all the missing Pokemon got a TM listing and technical record listing. While the Pokemon are not added to the game, they won't have a Pokedex listing, so this page is to detail all the Pokemon missing from Sword and Shield and their possible TM and technical record moves. And there are some crazy wow moves that Pokemon got added. So I'll actually link this to you guys in the description. So shout out to Cerebi, of course, so you can go through it yourself. But last night I streamed with my viewers. So luckily I wasn't alone, thankful. Yeah, I should follow me on Twitch, by the way. And we just went through a lot of Pokemon that got some updated moves that we thought were very interesting. And, you know, some meta-defining, some not so much. But, yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. So let's get right into it. So we're going to, well, before we get into this, this unfortunately deconfirms Dragon Dance Garchomp. So Garchomp is not getting Dragon Dance. As far as we know, based on this listing, Metagross doesn't get close combat. We already knew Weavile doesn't get close combat. But yeah, Metagross doesn't get close combat or shift gear. Unfortunate. Does not begin to describe. And Landorus does not get Brave Bird or Shore Up or Hurricane. I know most of that was just wishful thinking from me. But Dragon Dance Garchomp was definitely something that could have happened. Like they gave everything DD, but they said, no, let's not give it to the Pokemon that make it broken. Which is fair. That's on them. Also, one other thing, I want to just get those out of the way before we go. If you want to pick up my merch, there's a Valentine's Day sale. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Keysprung sent me this Valentine's Day sale, so the link is down below. You can use code CANDY. But happy Valentine's Day. This day doesn't mean too much to me because tomorrow is actually my anniversary with Marlene. So 7 years of dating is crazy. I mean, we're like a year and a half married, but 7 years of dating tomorrow, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, the first one that I thought was interesting, and don't worry, it gets a lot better than this first one. I just had to start it off with the whacker ones. I mean, it's not whack, but Raticate gets close combat. That's pretty big for Raticate. It didn't get that before, and because Raticate has access to guts and whatnot, let me see if I can, should I just go back and forth? Should I just go back and forth to them every single time we do this? That might actually give you something to look at, but as you can see right here, Raticate has access to, okay, it's not working. Forget it. Y'all just going to have to chill with this in the background. Put whatever you want. Raticate gets close combat. That's pretty big considering it has Guts and already has Facade, has Priority, and Sucker Punch, had Flame Wheel, but that was like what it had before. So now it has close combat, a way of hitting Steel and Rock types. Poliwrath, this one actually is very happy. So when Let's Go came out, Poliwrath had access to Superpower, finally. And like bulk up and stuff, which I think it might have already had bulk up. I could be wrong about that. But now Poliwrath has close combat, Darkest Lariat, and Liquidation. I'm very happy that Poliwrath has Stab, especially in fighting. Because, I mean, before I had like Low Kick and Brick Break. That was all Poliwrath was able to do. And like now it's actually, I mean, it already had bulk up before as well. But now it actually has a stab move that it can use, right? And on top of that, but it also has a solid dark type attack versus, like, you know, when Poliwrath is in the lower tier, an answer might be like Gourgeist, for instance. So it has a solid dark type attack for that too. And then of course Liquidation, which is stronger than Waterfall. I mean, with its base 95 attack, it getting stronger moves is pretty big. Alolan Sandslash and regular Sandslash both get spikes. I think that's really, really cool. A ground type that gets spikes is always great, so now you don't have to like use it just for rocks. So it's actually a bigger draft pick for those that play Draft League. It's a more valued lower tier ground type. And again, these Pokemon are not available just yet, but I mean, we would think that by them getting these updated sets, that means they are coming, you know, back to the game with the DLC. Who knows them? Who knows? Specifically, I also think that Alolan Sandslash getting spikes is really nice because Ice and Steel, excuse me, has really solid resistances, and just giving it the extra option of spikes. It already has knockoff. It already had Rapid Spin. I mean, they already gave it a Rapid Spin buff as well, you know, because Rapid Spin gives it that speed boost one now, and it's stronger in power. So I really do like spikes as an addition to that. Now this is a really cool one. Alakazam gets Nasty Plot. Imagine if Mega Alakazam was still around and it had access to Nasty Plot. That mon already Oko's T-Tar in the sand, man. It's crazy, but yeah, they gave Alakazam Nasty Plot, and especially in this specific metagame right now, where like Pokemon aren't that fast. Like the fastest mons are Dragapult, Aselgor, and the new Zeraora, the new quote unquote Zeraora. Alakazam has a fantastic speed tier, right above Cinderace and things like that, and it's able to boost when it gets it, and then Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, and Psychic is perfect coverage. So that's an incredible feat for Alakazam, and I mean, if Megas do eventually come back, oh my god, Mega Alakazam with Nasty Plot, especially because it's so easy. Like, you just switch into a Regenerator Pokemon. Let me give you an example. Alakazam is really good at switching into Regenerator Pokemon. So like Assault Vest, Tangrowth, and Toxapex were two back in the day, because it can tank hits from them and switch out, and then basically with Trace it takes a Regenerator. It doesn't take it, but it has the Regenerator, so it's able to get that healing every single time. Imagine just sitting a Nasty Plot as Toxapex switches out and they go Celesteela and they just die to like +2 Focus Blast. Obviously they have to be like Fizz Def, I think, for them to die, but that's insane. Tauros gets Close Combat, which is such a great little addition to it. So now it's not limited to Earthquake to hit those steel types, or even like some with Sheer Force used to run like Mixed Fire Blast so they can do like 60% to Ferrothorn. Well, now you can just Life Orb or Choice Band Close Combat to a KO that thing clean without having to run Naive or anything like that. It also got Throat Chop, and I wasn't sure if Megahorn was in its move pool, but it also got Megahorn before. So that's a nice little addition as well for Tauros. And like, guys, I wrote this in a notepad, but I didn't want you guys to be like I'll show you the notepad. I didn't want that to be the video. I'd rather it be this blank background on Cerebi.net. I'm such a great person. But yeah, pretty cool addition for Tauros. Tauros is typically a lower tier Pokemon, but has some strong, like with its speed tier in this generation and having a good move of hitting dark types. Like before, I was using like Pursuit and then Z Headbutt and Rock Slide, right? Like if you had him as Magus, you were either getting hit with Z Headbutt or Rock Slide, or you were getting Pursuited. Pursuit doesn't exist, and now I can use Throat Chop. So that's awesome. Zapdos. Woo! Should I save Zapdos for later? Because actually it's not even in order if I go Zapdos now. Whatever, Zapdos. Guys, Zapdos finally got Hurricane. It was the only one of the three birds that did not get Hurricane, because, you know, Hurricane would have been broken. But I'm glad they decided that Hurricane would have been broken, and they gave it to Zapdos anyway. On top of that, it also gets Weather Ball, by the way. I'm going to add that too, because that's a pretty big addition. But let's talk about Hurricane. I don't need any hidden power anymore. You got a ground type that wants to switch in. Get hit with the Stab Hurricane coming off of my 383 special attack stat. So Hurricane and Thunderbolt, phenomenal coverage next to each other. Electric types resist, but who cares? Not Zapdos. You just Thunderbolt that too for solid 2 KO, or depending on that. Not only that, but they gave it heavy duty boots, of course. Weather Ball is so sick too, and Hurricane specifically, because if you use it on Rain, Hurricane is 100% accurate. Weather Ball becomes a water type move, a strong water type move, so you can break through grounds with that, and you can use Thunder as well. So I feel like Zapdos coming like that might actually make Rain also. I mean, Rain is good right now with Mantine. Well, it was good before what just came out. We don't know how it is right this current second, but like 3 days ago it was great with Mantine. But Agility, Weather Ball, Hurricane, Thunder, Zapdos on Rain sounds kind of fire. And even just like offensive Zapdos in general, Zapdos still has Heat Wave as well. So like, you could just use Roost 3 attacks, Hurricane, Heat Wave, and Thunderball if you're not going to use it on a Rain team. But Weather Ball is just good too. Like I'm glad that a lot of Pokemon got that. But yeah, that's such a great boost for Zapdos. Also, obviously, it gives it a strong max airstream too if you're playing in a Dynamax metagame, like Battle Spot singles or Battle Stadium singles, excuse me, or VGC, and giving it a stronger Hurricane, and then it has such good moves to abuse. Man, Zapdos is a beautiful Pokemon. I'm happy about that. Slowbro got Nasty Plot, and it got Body Press. So Nasty Plot before was only available to Slowking. So Slowbro now can do that too, so he can actually be an offensive Nasty Plotter. And it's funny because like if you're using a defensive Slowking and it's like physically defensive Slowking, you can easily EV Slowbro to match the exact same thing and have like I think 2 points left over. I've done that before in the past. But Slowbro getting Nasty Plot is really nice, especially as an offensive Trick Room setter. It'd probably do something similar to how Slowking would do it, would be Trick Room, Nasty Plot, and then 2 moves, whether it be Scald, Psychic, Fire Blast, whatever, Ice Beam, it doesn't matter. Slowbro has the move pool where it can do whatever it wants. I do like Body Press as well, especially on like an AV set specifically. It can be something to deal with, because it has such a high HP stat. Imagine, yo, and it gets Iron Defense too. I feel like, imagine Mega Slowbro with Iron Defense, Body Press, can't be crit, and just rests with Shell Armor. And it just has this strong boosting move. Of course, the PP, and it's not stab and whatnot. Like, the PP is low, and it's not stab. But still, coming off the defense side, I like that they gave it Body Press. I do think the Nasty Plot is a little bit better, though, and makes it just a great, more offensive Trick Room Pokemon. And just in general, it could be really cool, because Slowbro is a great bulky water. So when it comes back, Aerodactyl, they gave it Dragon Dance. Yo, bro, you gave it Dragon Dance and it already has Rockhead. Just give it Brave Bird and Head Smash. Oh man, they didn't though, but they did give it Rock Blast and Psychic Things. I think Rock Blast is a cool little addition, a little bit more accurate than Stone Edge, of course. But Dragon Dance is interesting too. If Mega Aerodactyl ever comes back, oh my God, Dragon Dance, Mega Aerodactyl, and it has Psychic Fangs too. Boosted by Tough Claws. That's a nice little move too. That if it doesn't want to go for like a stab Aerial Ace, which is what it has for its physical move. Oh my bad, Wing Attack. If you want to use Aerial Ace but with more PP, yeah, it can hit them fighting types with that. Hit Tough Specs as well. Tough Claws boosted and whatnot. But I think Dragon Dance is really nice. I do like Rock Blast as well, especially to like break through sashes and whatnot as like an anti-lead if you're using like Taunt, Stealth Rock. Focus Slash lead Aerodactyl. Maybe you can even beat opposing lead Aerodactyl with Rock Blast and whatnot. I think Dragon Dance just makes it a nice offensive mon, giving it a way of boosting. Basically, like Home Claws was a set that it could run before, but it'd just be revenge killed by Scarfers anyway, or Bulky Waters. It could still be revenge killed by Bulky Waters, but now it can't be revenge killed by Scarfers because Aerodactyl is one of the fastest mons already, and just being able to Dragon Dance and not only boosting your attack and speed helps out Aerodactyl. Articuno got Weather Ball. I just think that was interesting to note, and so did Moltres. I think that maybe is better for Moltres than it is Articuno specifically, because I feel like Articuno is going to really... Well, these are like the regular versions. I don't know about the Galarian versions yet, but I feel like that's something that is going to allow it to thrive, specifically Moltres, on rain teams too. Moltres is also a Pokemon that has been ran on rain teams too, similar to Zapdos, even though it's a fire type and whatnot, just because Hurricane is so strong. And even Weather Ball giving it that water move as well is pretty cool, and then it can U-turn around. That's kind of like how it would function on rain teams before, like specs, sets. It would be like you're switching to Ferrothorn on a rain team, maybe like in Gen 5, and you just click Hurricane from there, and then you 2 KO everything that wasn't T-Tar, so, or knock out something that wasn't Tyranitar, so, like even like defensive Rotom did not appreciate Modest Specs Hurricane. That's a cool little addition for that. For Alligator, got Psychic Fangs. About time, baby. So, I mean, this mon should have had all the Fang moves. Like, look at its mouth. Like, bro, for Alligator, definitely deserved that, but... I believe Psychic Fangs is boosted by Sheer Force, but let me check real quick. Let me check which moves are boosted by Sheer Force. I believe Psychic Fangs is. It should be affected. And no, it's not. Interesting. Is this right? Is this correct? You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking of, what's it called? I'm thinking of Sharpedo's Strong Jaw ability. That's what I'm thinking of. So, still pretty cool to have on Gator. I think like a Swords Dance Gator can now run Psychic Fangs instead of Earthquake if it wanted to. Potentially go with Pex and in like a lower tier specifically. I just like spat on my mic, but in a lower tier specifically, this is nice because Aurora Veil is something that, why do I think that Psychic Fangs was boosted? Oh, because secondary ability to break screens, but that's not like, yeah, that's not the type of ability that, whatever. Anyway, I looked it up and it says it's not, but it might be, so I might be wrong. Who cares? But having that ability to break screens, I think, is pretty cool on a Gator in general. And funny because I feel like Gator is something that will be ran on Aurora Veil teams as well, just to set it straight up sweep. But yeah, I like that it got Psychic Fangs. Nice coverage. Hurricane Crobat. Whew, kind of similar to Zapdos. Not at all in that regard, but kind of similar to Zapdos that it has a strong flying type now, attack now. It can actually be a threat if it uses Nasty Plot. Like before, it would have to be like Nasty Plot, Sludge Bomb would be your best move, Heat Wave, and then maybe Giga Drain for coverage, but screw that, man. I mean, Giga Drain's still good for coverage. Or you can get rid of Sludge Bomb if you want at this point. Just throw off a Hurricane, man, on Crobat. Ooh, and they give it a heavy boost too. Nice. And it can defog and make its Hurricanes more accurate. I love it. So it seems here that I put a Gen 4 Mon in the middle of this list. So do you guys mind if I say it? I'm obviously going in order of the Mons, but it's fine. Cresselia gets Cosmic Power and Stored Power. My God. In a metagame with no Pursuit. Ah, that's nasty, man. Cosmic Power boosting both of your defenses and then Stored Power being boosted alongside that. That's really nasty. I mean, we might see Crest just beating everything, man. Of course, it depends on the metagame. Like, who knows? Maybe in Crest's metagame, wherever tier Crest is in, maybe Durant is high tier and Doublade is high tier and Drapion is high tier. So Crest actually cannot Stored Power for the most part freely, right? But it getting Cosmic Power and Stored Power on already a really fat Pokemon, just making it even fatter. And it can just rest off status moves. Big for Crest, man. Big for Crest. I do like that they gave a lot of Psychic type Stored Power, though. It opens up a lot of move pools. I guess another cool one here is Azumarill gets High Horsepower. That's cool. Plus 6 Azumarill can already knock out Toxapex with Knockoff, but now it has, I guess, a stronger move on like a Bandage set. It's iffy. It's kind of hard to replace the move, I think, for High Horsepower too. You want Liquidation, you want Play Rough, you want Knockoff, and you want Aqua Jet. So if you're using Banded, right? And if you're using Belly Drum, Knockoff, Aqua Jet, and Play Rough kind of hit everything more. So it's just a cool addition, but it's not anything ridiculous for this Pokemon, I think. But just something noteworthy. Fortress gets Body Press. Has access to Body Press now. Nice on a physically defensive wall. Can Rapid Spin Body Press instead of Earthquake, I suppose. Earthquake is still probably better because it does more damage to Magnezone. It can trap it, and then Heat Ray when it comes out too. But Body Press is just an addition that could work. Maybe not allowing like a Bisharp or even a fat Bisharp to set up on it like in a Draft League or something. I like that. Strong move versus like normal types like Snorlax and whatnot. I think this one's pretty cool. Heracross gets Spikes. Good. So let's talk a little bit about Heracross. So Mega Heracross and regular Heracross were pretty notorious at forcing switches, right? They're good at forcing switches. So let me give the scenario. Mega Heracross comes out on Chansey. Chansey is more than likely to switch out because it will die to close combat. So they decide to switch out into Gliscor to take the close combat and not really do anything back to Heracross. It was actually a pretty bad switch and they didn't think about it. That's their fault. Whatever, we ain't talking about that. Heracross typically went for sub or SD on the switch because it was a relatively free move. And that allows it to break through Gliscor because, I mean, they Rock Blast on the Earthquake that Gliscor has. Again, the opponent wasn't thinking, and then the opponent roosts, and then they get bought by Pin Missile because they lost their flying type. Well, that was Mega Heracross. Now, similar to that, Greninja actually does very similar, and so does Diggersby, in the sense that whenever they force a switch, they get up a spike. And this, in turn, helps them later on sweep. So, I feel like a Guts Scarf or Banded Heracross, I think Scarf would be really cool, can spike when it forces a switch, and then later come back in, and then obviously outspeed your opponent because they're Scarf, and then because of that, their sweep is more likely to happen because they can get a spike. So it just opens up a lot for Heracross, and also Heracross is pretty decent defensive typing. Like Bug and Fighting has some nice resistances, Ground being the biggest one, and I mean, you've seen Buzzwole, right? Like, check like Zygarde in metagames and whatnot. So I think Heracross being able to spike is really, 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 really cool, and I love that addition to its arsenal. Skarmory got Body Press. It's trying to be Corviknight so badly, but you ain't Corviknight, buddy. That's it. It's okay. You different. You get up spikes. It's fine. But Body Press is cool because it means it actually has a way of 2-hit KOing Heatran with max defense. So offensive Heatran takes, I believe, 59 to 70% from Body Press. I calculated last night. Whereas a more defensive variant takes, like max HP takes around half. So really cool with spikes up. Another big thing is that you don't have to counter or Whirlwind Bisharp if you want to beat it. You can actually use Body Press and beat it down. So I think that's a nice little addition. Also, it gives Skarmory a way of damaging Ferrothorn. So that's cool on Skarm. It can maybe it'll drop Brave Bird or Iron Head depending on the metagame, and it'll run Spikes, Body Press, Roost, Whirlwind. So that's a really nice addition to Skarm too. I feel like I say really nice a lot, and I do. I know I do. Moving on. Kingdra. Kingdra got Hurricane and Liquidation. Liquidation is cool on a Dragon set. On a physical Dragon set, of course. Waterfall is, I think, a little bit better in some cases because it does have that flinch chance, and I feel like there's a lot of Pokemon that Kingdra is just shy of being able to pick up a KO because it's not the strongest Pokemon, even if it's Rain boosted and Dragon Dance boosted. So Liquidation can be cool with that, but Waterfall, again, giving you a chance to flinch. It also got Hurricane. Hurricane is interesting because Kingdra, if it's a Rain Dance set, can set up its own Rain, right? That's typically what Kingdra would do. Set up the Rain, then go for Rain Boosted Hydro Pumps, Dragon Pulses / Draco Meteors, and then it would run Ice Beam as its last move, or even Dragon Pulse and Draco Meteor, or Surf and Hydro Pump, right? But Hurricane is interesting because it's stronger than what Ice Beam could be on that set for grass types, and it's 100% accurate on their Rain too, so it gives Kingdra an even stronger one, and it also can, I mean, use Max Airstream, I guess, and like VGC and stuff whenever it's allowed, which is pretty cool. A Swift Swimmer that can boost speed even more, so it can't be revenge killed. This one is really weird. You know how they gave like all the Fairy types and Psychic types Mystical Fire because they said, oh, Hidden Power is gone, but don't worry, we got you. We're not going to make you useless versus those Steel types. Yeah, they did the same thing with Raikou, but instead of Mystical Fire, or Mythical Fire, whatever the move is called, man. I always mix it up. They gave it Scald. Like, what? yeah. They gave Raikou Scald. So not only can it Thunderbolt you now, ground type's better beware, because not only are you being hit with a super effective move like you would have been with Hidden Power Ice, but you can get burnt. So they gave Raikou Scald. I mean, you know what? That's completely fine, bro. That is complete. Look at this, Scald. They also gave it Aura Sphere, so it's non-event now, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to transfer your Aura Sphere Raikou. And it got Weather Ball too. Weather Ball and Aura Sphere were both event moves back in the day in Gen 4, and which were locked to Rash Nature. Now, obviously, that does not matter at all in this generation because you can just use Mints to adjust your nature. I mean, you'd still have the same nature, but you know the properties of it would be that of like Timid, right? Raikou probably always runs Timid, so you might run a Timid nature. So it got Scald now. So Calm Mind offensive set with Scald, Thunderbolt, and Aura Sphere. Yo, man. Or like if you're running it on Rain or you're running it on, I mean, I still run it Scald. Still run Scald, man. Like Scald is just Rain boost anyway. Don't run Weather Ball because Rain is not always going to be up. But Aura Sphere gives it away. Bro, Calm Mind, Scald, Thunderbolt, and Aura Sphere. I'm trying to think of like what Pokemon resist that besides like a grass type, obviously. Like Gourgeist. But like relevant grass types, maybe Venusaur, like as if that becomes relevant. But damn, man, Aura Sphere for Tyranitar and Ferrothorn, and Thunderbolt for your stab move, and then Scald for their ground size. Yo, they buffed this Pokemon, man. I'm with it. Speaking of buffs, Sceptile got Dragon Dance. Why can't you give me this when it was Mega Sceptile, bro? It actually, like, Swords Dance was okay on Mega Sceptile, specifically because it could knock out Togekiss and Yu with Iron Tail. But why didn't you give me this when it was Mega Sceptile? I don't get it. Would that have been too broken? The answer is probably yes. But because Mega Sceptile is already fast and strong. But they gave it Dragon Dance. And obviously it already has moves like Leaf Blade and whatnot that it can abuse, that Earthquake, Drain Punch, whatever, Swords Dance, Rock Slide. It doesn't get Stone Edge, it gets Rock Slide. I was about to say Stone Edge, but nah. Yeah, wow. I don't know if Megas are ever returning. I really feel like they will. Because I feel like Megas, unlike Z-Moves and Dynamaxes, are not gimmicks in a sense that they're like one and done. No, they exist as a Pokemon for the rest of the battle, right? Like a Dynamax Mon will go back to being small. A Z-Move Mon will go back to hitting not like a truck. Well, unless it's Kartana. But I think Megas will come back. And I think they're prepping for that, man. Like, because Dragon Dance up top, ooh, that's nice. I love how they just give it everything. That's it. Speaking of everything. Blaziken. I mean, close combat obviously makes sense. Every fighting type, like, basically got that now. So that's amazing stab on Blaziken. High jump kick is very strong, but obviously it has, you know, that chance with it, that literal recoil that you could get, you miss with it as well. They also gave it Aura Sphere. So on a special side, that's pretty cool too, because Blaziken has a good special attack stat. And the other one was they gave it U-turn. They gave Blaziken U-turn, bro. Yo, can you let me smoke out? I mean, I'll use it if I want on Wi-Fi, but just give me back regular Blaziken. Give me Blaze. Damn, give me Speed Boost too, man. I don't know if it's broken yet. It just got close combat and U-turn now, so it can come in and I try to go out to my Latios or Latias, and they just get Choice Band U-turned on or something like that, or Life Orb U-turn, and you know, they go down. It's fine. But they gave it spam move in close combat, and they gave it U-turn. I think that's amazing for Blaziken, right? Like, because you get momentum out of it. You try to go your bulky water. First of all, you shouldn't be going your bulky water unless it's Toxapex, because this close combat gonna hurt. This close combat gonna hurt, man. Whew. Man, Swampert also, I'm like scrolling, but I'm not like really using this too much. But Swampert got Bulk Up, Body Press, Darkest Lariat, and Liquidation. I believe it got Liquidation last time. I believe we always use Waterfall or Aqua Tail. So yeah, it got some nice little moves right there. Bulk up is interesting. You don't have to use Curse if you want to boost now, and you don't have to lower your speed, which I think is pretty cool. The fact that I really just like threw random mons in between orders, that's funny. But yeah, bulk up is really nice. I would love bulk up on a Mega Pert as well. It already has ridiculous stats and only one weakness to grass, or I guess freeze dry as well if you count that too. So that's insane for Pert. Team player coming through with the support. So like if I go through this list, the next Pokemon would be Medicham, but I put Regigigas here too. I put Regigigas in between because again we were just like talking and I was just going over. So this is all over the place. Guys, tell me your thoughts on this stuff too. All right, you see this move right here? TM21. Regigigas did not get that before. It did not get TM21 before. Regigigas can now rest. If you guys don't know about Regigigas, Regigigas basically is a Pokemon that has ridiculous stats, but for 5 turns it has half the attack and speed because it has slow start. So this is it takes a little while to get its head in the game. That's all right. We all like that. We all like that. So they gave it rest. They also gave it. I want to give you the actual TM list right here. Where are you? Where are you? Why can't I see Protect? I know they gave you Protect, bro. I know they gave you Protect. Where is it? Am I blind? There it is. It's right there. Team 25. It's literally right above. They gave Regigigas Protect as well. That's not something it had before. It did not have Protect. It did not have Rest. It basically had. It had no way of stalling out turns besides Sub, Thunder Wave, Confuse Rates type stuff that it used to run back in the day. So them giving it both of those is awesome. It also got Body Press. It got Heat Crash. It got Darkest Lariat. So high horsepower too, I guess, if you want to add that. I don't know if it had high horsepower before, but interesting. Regigigas might not be as trash as it was before because it can actually, like, why would I not just rest up and abuse that, right? Like, why not? This mon is an offensive and defensive Reggie in one, right? It's what the Reggies kind of wish they were. It's what Regice tries to be. But amazing. Me and Shao also got close combat. Cool. Anything with high jump kick in close combat I can respect. They should have had the options to anyway. Obviously, high jump kick with Reckless is still superior, but of course that recoil and that miss sucks. Medicham got Blaze Kick. I don't know if that's a huge deal for Medicham. Personally, I'm not entirely sure if that's a huge deal for Medicham, but it's an option. Coverage move. Blaziken got close combat. Blaziken, I already said that. Breloom. Sorry, I just smacked my mic again. But Breloom got close combat, and I like this because first off, Breloom is one of the few mons that can Spore. It's not in the metagame, but it will become eventually. I'm assuming with the DLC that this is why. Like, what I assume is that every mon that got a buff in this is coming back, and we have about 200 plus mons coming back. So throughout the when you combine both the DLCs, so I could see like anything like that. I'm assuming they come back. But Breloom getting close combat is nice because it has Swords Dance already. It had bulk up, and but its fighting moves were limited to Sky Uppercut, Low Sweep, and like Sewer Power, Focus Punch, of course, if you're running Sub Punch. So now it actually has a spammable fighting type attack, like literally spammable fighting type attack, and like a Technician Loom with Close Combat, Bullet Seed, Mach Punch, Spore. Oof, that's kind of nice, man. That's kind of nice. Or even like on a Facade one with Toxic Orb, Poison Heal, like Swords Dance, Close Combat. I mean, you can run Drain Punch as well. Drain Punch was also an option, but man, I don't know, man. Like a Banded Breloom, this is beautiful. Breloom has such a great attack stat too. Speaking of close combat, both Tyrantrum and Crocodile also got access to it. I love it. Crocodile no longer has to run Sewer Power if it's running that on Scarf, which is something that it did run. Tyrantrum has no recoil head smashes. It now has a strong move like Close Combat to threaten steals as well. And yeah, Dragon Dance is still really scary. So close combat on both of them, sick. Regirock got Body Press. I mean, one of the most defensive Pokemon ever has a move that is reliant on your defense. Nice for that. Very nice. Speaking of Pokemon like that, Aggron, excuse me, also got Body Press too. So that's another cool one. Of course, none of these are stab, but they're just strong moves, and they don't allow setup as well. Not that Aggron is weak. Aggron is not weak at all. Like Aggron's strong, and it has like another mon that has like Head Smash with no recoil and whatnot. But still cool addition. More close combat mons include Sharpedo. Yo, So now I don't even have to be a mega to have like a strong crunch or strong jaw, man, to hit Ferrothorn. Let me just close comment with my life orb for a 2-hit KO from the Shark, man. Sharpedo got it, and so did Absol. Absol also doesn't have to run Swords and Sewer Power anymore. It doesn't have to raise its attack just to lower its attack. It doesn't have to do that no more. It can just raw close combat, and like on a Pokemon with knockoff too. I think this is so big on Speed Boost Sharpedo, by the way. I'm not trying to downplay that. I think that's so cool. Because that's amazing coverage, man. You got Waterfall, you got Crunch, Close Combat, Protect. All you need, man. All you need. Or even a Banded one, you can just spam it. But yeah, Absol getting that when everybody has Knockoff and Sucker Punch and Swords Dance. Beautiful in that. Salamence gets Hurricane, man. So, I mean, before that, it's like special moves were limited to Air Cutter, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Air Cutter was... Let me look at this real quick. I know I'm like jumping between the generations, but I think it was just Air Cutter. But yeah, or like I mean, if you were Air, you could use Hyper Voice or Double Edge or Body Slam or Return, Frustration, whatever. Air Slash, sure. I believe it got that. I don't know if it got that before this generation, but I know the Air Cutter was just something I had to use on a defensive Salamence before, so I'm assuming that's all it had. But Hurricane is really cool. Again, another potential Rain Abuser, just another strong move in general for Mence that can hit Fairy types. It has a good special attack stat too, so I love that addition for Mence. And of course, also Registeel also got Body Press too. Excuse me, I forgot to put that. Which is nice because it doesn't allow setup from like Pokemon like Bisharp, which would eat up an Earthquake from Registeel because it's not that strong or doesn't care too much about Side Toss, so that's nice. Now, these are the ones I'm very excited about. Both Latios and Latias got Mystical Fire. Yeah, I heard that right. I hope I'm saying the right move. Look at them real quick. I always mix it up if it's mystical or mythical. Mystical Fire, which, if y'all didn't know, the best way that Latios and Latias could touch something like Scizor or Ferrothorn was Hidden Power Fire. Now it has a stronger move, a way stronger move, that also lowers the special attack of something trying to come in on it. And, oh, it gets better, it gets better. Them Pokemon got Aura Sphere. They got Aura Sphere. So now, not only can I decide, okay, I want to knock out Ferrothorn and Scizor, but hey, I'm going to bop that Tyranitar if I Calm Mind up too, or that Heatran trying to come in on me. I don't got to use a weaker Surf. Let me use a 4 times effective move that hits Tyranitar, but also hits Heatran and also hits Ferrothorn. That is big on both of them, man. I'm really feeling... I was talking about it with like Terrakion and Blunder on a video we did. I think that's going to be up on his channel today as well. It was like me, him, and Shofu, but it feels like Black and White 1, man. It does, man. Terrakion broken. The Lotties are broken. Whew. I mean, obviously, they're not all out at this time, but Latios also got Sword Power, too, which I believe it's something it didn't have before. I think only Latias had it. And did you get Cosmic Power? Did you get Cosmic Power? I don't see Cosmic Power. Star Power, Star Power, Calm Mind, Calm Mind, Calm Mind. I have a lot of trouble, like, concentrating sometimes, so I don't know what it is about me, but I don't know. But yeah, oh, they also have Baton Pass, which, I mean, if you're allowed to use that in your league, there's no Pursuit anyway, so you don't need that to abuse anything, but Calm Mind Baton Pass on them is pretty cool. Though I don't think that, I don't see that Latios got that. I only see that Latias got that. But damn, man, Aura Sphere and bro, all I need is my Specs Draco, my Specs Psychic, my Specs Aura Sphere, and my Specs Mystical Fire, and I can repeat. I mean, like Latios and Latias were gonna be good anyway because Pursuit isn't in the game, so they don't have to worry about Dracoing and them being pursued, bro. And even if you got a Fairy type, man, I'll hit you with a Spec Psychic or something like that, or I'll lower your special attack with Calm Mind Mystical Fire. I think that's another big one. Calm Mind Mystical Fire, lowering the special attack. So if something tries, like even Clef, right? Let's say Latios is in versus Clef, and Latios goes for Calm Mind, and then Clef comes in. I just Mystical Fires, they try to Calm Mind up, and I'm lowering their special attack while boosting mine. I mean, I'll beat them anyway because I have like Psyshock or something as a move. But like lowering their special attack so they can't even do too much damage to me. Fire. Especially on Latias, I think that's a really, really good move on support Latias as well. So I'm excited about that. Another thing I'm excited about is they freaking gave Lopunny Close Combat in U-Turn too. Imagine Mega Lopunny with U-Turn before. You always go Landorus, right? You take your Stealth Rock chip, then you take your 10% U-Turn chip, and by the time you're done, bro, also they boosted Scrappy as well. So there's no Intimidate on Lopunny if it had been Mega Lopunny. So, like, what? Bro, this mod would have been hella broken. And it has access to Close Combat and U-Turn. Oh my god, man. In that specific metagame I'm talking about. In last metagame. I'm not talking about your National Dex metagame where you can use You can still use Z moves, but well, it's not National Dex. It's Gen 7 Dex plus Glider Pokemon, if we're being honest. Yeah, where you can use all that stuff. But I'm talking about like in a legitimate last metagame with no other new mons. No other new mons, no Dragapult, no nothing. No Corviknight. I'm just using a raw Lopunny with Scrappy that ignores Intimidate. And I'm just like bopping everything. That's such a cool addition for Lopunny. And I really hope that Mega Lopunny, like I said, I feel like at this point Megas are their own Pokemon, so they kind of deserve to be back, or at least separate from it. That's my personal opinion though. Gliscor, Gliscor's weird. Like I don't know why they gave it these moves, but it got Power Whip. It got Power Whip. That's cool. I mean that would have been nice when trying to fight a Mega Swampert on Rain. It also got Psychic Fangs, and I don't know if it got Throat Chop before as well, but it got Power Whip and Psychic Fangs. It probably did get Throat Chop. It feels like it could chop your throat. Look at those big meaty claws. But Power Whip. They're just giving random things Power Whip. In Draft League, I think that's going to be fire, man. You trying to counter your... Not that Gliscor really cared too much about bulky waters, man. I've seen Gliscor 1v1 Rotoms all the time with Facade and Roost. But I do believe that that's, at least at worst, that's like a nice good addition to its arsenal, especially in Draft. Specifically Draft. Buffalont got Close Combat. I had that randomly in between Gliscor and Tornadus, so I'm gonna put that right there. Buffalont got Close Combat. So that's cool. Yeah, a nice little addition before. Like now there's another Earthquake or anything. It has that Stab Close Combat. I mean that's Sap Simper too, so like that's the Buffalont, man. Setting up in front of a Ferrothorn sound kind of nice. I also have Lycanroc, all the Lycanrocs right here for some reason, in between. Again, Gliscor and Tornadus, but Lycanroc Dustman I think is the big one because it does have access to Tough Claws. Got Close Combat. It finally got a good move, man. It already has some strong stuff, right? Like, I mean, his move is being boosted by Tough Claws and whatnot. It had a Celorock as well. The others also got Close Combat, but they also got Play Rough and Psychic Fangs too. But yeah, that strong Tough Claws boosted Life Orb or Choice Band Close. I think Lycanroc Dustman is one of the mons that I would love to draft the most, just because I think it's so strong and be so fun. It has a great speed tier. But like it having Close Combat is just way better, man. Before I had Brick Break, but that's an upgrade. All right, Tornadus. Speaking of upgrades, Tornadus gets Nasty Plot. Previously, only Thundurus can learn Nasty Plot out of the trio. And it was also Prankster on that one. So Tornadus can use Prankster Nasty Plot if it wants to. Tornadus also got Weather Ball. Now I think that Tornadus is interesting on the Prankster one, of course, because like obviously, like I said, it's Prankster, so that's cool. It can get that guaranteed boost. Not that it matters too much. It's faster than most Pokemon. But on the Heavy Duty Boots version of the Assault Vest Tornadus version, not Assault, Heavy Duty Boots, but when I say the Assault Vest version, I'm talking about Tornadus Therium, but obviously I'm giving it Heavy Duty Boots over Assault Vest. But being able to come in, not care about hazards, have Regenerator, and potentially Nasty Plot up, and be faster than the majority of Pokemon allowed in the game, Cinderace, Alakazam, Dugtrio, and everything below, and then having access to Nasty Plot. You already have Hurricane, you have Heat Wave, you have Focus Blast, you have such a good move pool. That's such a big addition for Tornadus too. And it also got Weather Ball. So that's cool too, even on Rain. Like, I mean, you would be Hurricaning most Pokemon, but the ones you wouldn't Hurricane, I guess you could Weather Ball them. But you have Focus Blast as well, and like Heat Wave. You have everything, man. So Tornadus don't really need anything. But Nasty Plot is just another addition to Torn, and I really think that the Heavy Duty Boots version can abuse that very well because of its high speed tier. Thundurus also got Weather Ball. Similar, it didn't get Hurricane, unfortunately, but similar to Zapdos. Except that it can Prankster, get up Rain Dance too, and it can Prankster Sub, and it can Prankster Nasty Plot, and it can Prankster Thunder Wave. Obviously, they nerfed that because you can't use it on Dark types, but it's still solid. Weather Ball is strong, especially with no hidden power. Though, again, it has access to like Grass Knot and things like that to hit them. Landorus did actually get a buff. I'm so sorry. Oh, my bad, Landorus. You got Weather Ball. Oh, yeah. Cool. Get out of my sight, man. Where's your Hurricane and Braver? I'm trying to see you banned, man. What's going on? Weather Ball. I had to mention that. Oh, Walrein got Swords Dance. That's there. And it has access to Liquidation and Icicle Spear. So, I mean, that's an Earthquake. So, I mean, that's interesting. A thick, fat Swords Dance mon does not sound bad, especially in lower tiers or even in draft. So, I think that, like, a value pick out of that. They really decided to just give Diancie everything. It got Mystical Fire. Great. Yeah, you know. Why not give it a stronger move than Hidden Power? Forgot it's Fairy type. It needs to be able to hit Ferrothorn and Scizor. it got play rough, so now physical is actually like viable because of its ability to use Diamond Storm alongside it. Oh, and speaking of Diamond Storm, you know how they made it double the chance to raise your defense, or like double your defense, excuse me, plus 2 your defense. Not double the chance, but they made it the plus 2 your defense. Oh, they decided to give Diancie body press too. So, player of Diamond Storm body press is actually a solid physical set on Diancie. It is a solid physical set on Diancie because you bop through something you wouldn't be able to, which is steel types. Like, well, Heran doesn't really count because Heran would be 2 KO by offensive Diamond Storm, but max like attack Diamond Storm. But body press letting you deal with Ferrothorn, and not only that, but you're raising your defense if you Diamond Storm upon switching, or you get hit them with a Mystical Fire. So now Diancie can attack from all areas effectively, right? Like play rough, Mystical Fire, body press. Even regular Diancie, I'm talking about like from Mega Diancie, right? But like even regular Diancie can do this effectively, and it has even stronger defense than Mega Diancie. So, wow. They just said, yeah, we're going to give Diancie all these presents, bro. Christmas came early for Diancie right now. And again, I've drafted Diancie. I keep talking about draft. For those that don't know what the hell that is, basically, it's like you're in a league and you specifically pick Pokemon when you draft them, right? And those are the only Pokemon you can use for the duration of the league unless you trade some or whatnot. And you fight other people who did the exact same thing, and you'll see their 8, their 10, their 12 Pokemon, and you try to counter team them, and then you battle them once, and you move on to the next person. And you know, you either win or lose, you get hacks. You get hacks out of many playoffs that are, you know, and oh, that's just me. Yeah, I've used Diancie. It's a fantastic Pokemon in my opinion, and I like this edition. But I mean, there's another edition that looks just as cool. Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko got play rough. Tapu Koko got close combat. If we go back to that video where I was talking about, but what if this mon get close combat? I saw them comments. Well, it did. It did get close combat. So Tapu Koko now has a physical fairy move, which is amazing, especially because they got rid of hidden power. So like you wouldn't be able to hidden power ice things like Landorus, but now you can hit them with a strong play rough. Because Tapu Koko has a great attack stat. It is base 1. Is it base 115? Yes, base 115. It already has Wild Charge. It already has U-turn, and now it has a strong move to hit ground types in play rough. And it also has close combat. So you try and go Ferrothorn and wall me, I'm going to bandit close combat you and 2 KO you. Now granted, they did nerf electric terrain. They did nerf the terrains. They only do 1.3 times now instead of 1.5 times. So I mean, I guess that's a good nerf. But on Koko, I don't think it matters too much. It has one of the best speed tiers. It's already one of the best draft Pokemon ever because of Z moves and whatnot, or was. But now it has a physical. Now it has a physical move pool. Before, all it had in the physical move pool was Wild Charge, U-turn, and Brave Bird. Now bump Brave Bird, play rough, close combat, U-turn, and Wild Charge. I mean, you could still use Brave Bird too. I guess Venusaur checks all 3 of those other moves. But yeah, they gave Koko a viable physical move. I love that they're just making everything. And guys, I'm only going over the ones that are like pop out to me, and some of these were on the list as well. I believe by Ultimate Mario as well, but some of them we also added alongside it because I feel like they missed a few. But if you go through this and you see something interesting, let me know down below which ones you see because I'm so excited about this. But yeah, giving Koko a way of actually busting through everything, especially when they nerfed hidden power to the point where it doesn't exist, right? It really opens up a door for like different playstyles of Koko because before you'd fear you'd fear special, you'd fear or dual screens would set it up, but now you better fear the band or the scarf. You better fear that. We'll go about Bulu in a second, but I have Volcarona here, which got Mystical Fire. Not the biggest buff for Volk. I did check if they gave it Earth Power first. I'm gonna be real because if they did give it Earth Power, it'd be banned immediately. But legit, it would be banned. Like. The literal thing that I think will stop Volcarona from being banned is the fact that Heat Ring will exist and Duckshaw will probably be banned too around that time. So like, Volcarona can never beat Heat Ring. They're just toxics and taunts because there's no hidden power at ground, right? And it resists everything else. But it getting Mystical Fire is really cool on support ones, especially because, I mean, they did buff Volcarona because they made heavy duty boots, right? But especially on defensive heavy duty boots variants, you don't have to run Flamethrower, you don't have to run Fiery Dance or Overheat or whatever. Fire Blast. I don't know why I put Overheat before Fire Blast. But you don't have to run any of that. Mystical Fire, lowering the special attack or whatever comes in, and then Volcarona being able to just take it on defensive Wisp sets, I think opens up Volk a lot for as a defensive typing. Now Bulu. I told y'all because Bulu got superpower in that video that is getting close combat. And guess what? I was right. Now, Bulu got access to close combat now, man. Infinitely better than superpower. Infinitely better than superpower. So Bulu getting access to close combat. Amazing. It's strong. It has Play Rough too. So now it has like its physical move pool before. Let me tell you what it consisted of. This was a Choice Band Bulu's moveset back in the day. Woodhammer, Horn Leech, Superpower, and then your last move was either Stone Edge for Zapdos, though if you click Woodhammer, you always 2-hit KO Zapdos, right? If they're offensive, they drop after like rocks or sometimes with rocks. If they're defensive, you outspeed them and 2-hit KO them with Woodhammer. Like even if they're max defense, you still outspeed them and 2-hit KO. But now it has access to Play Rough, it has access to close combat, it has access to high horsepower. I think Play Rough is a big one too because like flying types will not be able to switch in on, or even grass types will not be able to switch in so well to Woodhammer. Obviously, they did nerf. Again, they nerfed the terrain, so it's not going to be as strong. But they gave it Play Rough and close combat to abuse. They also gave it high horsepower. I think I mentioned that a second ago, which I think is cool because, I mean, it gives it a way of, like, not being messed up by its terrain. It gives it a ground type move that isn't messed up by its terrain, right? Like, if they gave it Earthquake, it'd be weakened by terrain because terrain weakens Earthquake. But they gave it high horsepower instead. But yeah, Play Rough and close combat, very similar to the Koko situation. It already had a good move pool, and Bulu already had a good special physical move pool in itself, just because all it needed was Woodhammer and then Superpower. But now they just upped that fighting type attack, and now they gave it Stab Play Rough. So I don't even need to care about running Mega Horn for Latias and Latios or running Stone Edge for Zapdos. Let me mid ground and bop them with Bandit Play Rough, man. That's it. So yeah, they upped Bulu so much with that. Another mon they upped by giving it close combat was Buzzwole. Buzzwole previously had Drain Punch, Hammer Arm, Superpower. Now it can close combat. And I talked about how Heracross had that nice defensive covering. Buzzwole was one of the mons that could deal with what's it called, like Marshadow and Ubers, but also like Zygarde in the OU tier when it was around and whatnot, and then just giving a spammable move on Bandit sets. That's great. Like before, you didn't have to worry too much about Buzzwole because if it was clicking Bandit Superpower, it would have the Beast Boost, and it would raise its attack anyway after it dropped it, so it'd be neutral. But now, no, kill something and get your attack raise and use that attack raise, or even on Scarf is really cool. They gave Celestial. I don't even know. You know, like, okay, I gotta look at this myself, like, because I saw this last night. And I was like, what are you doing? First off, they gave it Mega Horn. I guess that little tip on its head it's bigger than I thought. Okay. Well, let me take that. I can't take back that sentence now. But they gave it Cosmic Power. Why? Why? I don't know, man. A sub Lychee Cosmic Power, like heavy slam set, sounds very annoying. Or like sub Leech Seed, or like Cosmic Power Protect Lychee. Like, just like, it's already hard enough to kill as it is, and it has recovery from Leech Seed. Why? Luckily, they didn't get it Body Press, it looks like. But it did get Iron. I mean, it has Iron Defense. I don't know if it did get it. I'm pretty sure it had it. Maybe it didn't. But they didn't give it Body Press, thankfully. But yeah, Cosmic Power is scary, man. That's actually kind of scary, I think. Personally. I mean, it just ups its viability in draft and in OU. And I feel like there are going to be like, I mean, this will beat Combine Club. I mean, it beats Combine Club anyway. But like, yeah, it could beat a lot of Pokemon, man. Like, I'm pretty sure this could allow it to beat like Stored Power Latias or whatnot, too. I have to run calcs, but like, you're boosting both of your stats, man. Crazy. Stack Attacka got a really nice buff too. Got Body Press, which is. Oh, by the way, another thing I checked was if Kartana got close combat. Didn't get it. I also checked to see if it got Flare Blitz. Didn't get it. Yeah, I don't know why I checked to see if it got Flare Blitz, but it didn't. Who cares about Guzzler? I guess Guzzler got Body Press too. That's cool. Not really. Stats kind of suck. We'll talk about Magearna in a sec, but Stack Attacka, like I said, got the Body Press. So that's and Heat Crash. It got Body Press and Heat Crash. So, I mean, it can knock off Ferrothorn if it wants for real. Body Press is big, though, because Stack Attacka has an incredible defense stat. And on top of that, your Beast Boost is normally boosting your defense stat. Even on Trick Room variants, in order to have Stack Attacka boost its attack with Beast Boost, it has to be Lonely Nature, 15 Speed IVs. 15 attack IVs with a Lonely Nature, right? So that way that it's both its attack, I believe, and its defense are both 397. So that way when it gets the Beast Boost, it gets attack instead. But now I don't even know if that's necessary, man. Like, shoot, Body Press is good on support sets. Gyro Ball already strong as hell anyway, and you boost your defense, you're just making your Body Press stronger and stronger, man. Ferrothorn's a Pokemon that can check it too. But like Gyro Ball, Stone Edge, Body Press instead of Earthquake, Looks good to me. Or even just on the defensive sets, or even like Heat Crash on defensive sets too. I don't know how heavy this Pokemon is. It's a damn house, so I'm assuming it's heavy. But I like that addition. They gave Naganadel spikes, toxic spikes, and Dragon Dance. Bro, why Naganadel is Mew? They gave it spikes, toxic spikes, and Dragon Dance. It's a very fast Pokemon. It's a good spiker. I think it does force switches, and it can force out fairies, whatnot. And when Ubers starts to get a little bit more defined, I'm gonna be real right now. I kind of hope that Zacian gets banned from Ubers. That way I don't have to fight Zacian Ditto every single game, and don't have to use my unaware mons every single game. I do like, being able to use lower tier Pokemon in Ubers. I think that's really fun, but I feel like it's gonna be a little while until Ubers kind of like becomes a meta game that I'm very excited to play again. But spikes, toxic spikes, being able to force switches, giving it Dragon Dance in its arsenal. I mean, it already had like Gunk Shot and whatnot too, and Outrage. But I mean, Dragon Dance is reply 1 to confirm. Yes, thank you. 1 to confirm. I definitely do have plans tomorrow, so 1 to confirm. But yeah. It doesn't really have like the best thing to abuse. It's Dragon Dance move pool. You can see right here, its physical moves consist Leech Life, Outrage, and I believe Poison Jab. Where's Gunk Shot? Gunk Shot right here. Yeah, it's like I said. But just gives it something scary to think about. Also, getting a speed boost immediately is pretty cool. But yeah, spikes and T-Spike, big. You can use it like an anti-lead. Like at one point, people use Greninja as a lead because it can spike and it can spike. T-Spike, Taunt, U-Turn, whatnot. I mean, Naganadel could do the same thing. So maybe like as an anti-lead as well. If they allow that thing in OU or even in Ubers, it can potentially do something like that. But I already put Buzzwole. Pheromosa also got close combat, so that's cool. It doesn't have to use high jump kick as well, so you can't switch up to your Aegislash or anything or the Blade or whatever Pokemon you're using to check it. Giratina, I guess if you're playing Ubers, to Wallet, so that's very spammable. I think I already talked about Skarmory here. I see Magearna as well. Magearna got Store Power. Magearna has access to Iron Defense, has access to Calm Mind, and access to Shift Gear, so it has a lot of stuff that's actually already boosting it. And on top of that, it can do a million different sets that are already successful. Even without Z-moves being a thing, Magearna can still be very successful in what it does, just because it's just that strong. It can run berries, it can run leftovers. It's just good. It's good. That's specifically it. And now they just added something else that will allow Magearna to like, I don't think everything with Store Power can use Store Power effectively, but like I feel like if there's any Pokemon that can do it, Magearna is one that can do it for sure. He has too many boosting moves, and it's too scary to beat, and you can't like poison it to wear it down, you know what I mean? So it's just something that I feel is a damn threat. All right, that's already a threat as it is. It just decides to add something to it. And I have 2 more that I want to talk about as well, real quick. Magearna, I already put Magearna. Mesprit and Uxie got Nasty Plot and Stored Power. I think Stored Power is interesting on Uxie because it's so bulky naturally, so it can abuse that. And Mesprit having Nasty Plot, Mesprit is always like a really, really good lower tier psychic, like very good lower tier psychic. Whereas Uxie is typically limited to maybe you'll see a Memento set for something set up, or Stealth Rock, Psyshock, U-Turn was something that was ran, and RU and Rose Raid and Uxie were always there. And it can do like Trick Scarf and whatnot, but like it gave them access to Nasty Plot, gave them access to Store Power, so they have something more in their arsenal besides like Calm Mind or what they were typically used to. And then last one, Magnezone. You guys know how Magnezone lost Hidden Power, so while it can still trap something like Corviknight most likely, it's going to have a hard time trapping Ferrothorn. However, they gave Magnezone Overheat. That's a lie. I only said that because somebody said that to me in the stream, okay? My bad. Someone said that to me in the stream. I had to say that. But they didn't give Magnezone Overheat. Hell no. What the hell? How does that even make sense? Maybe it would make sense. Because it's like twisting the gears too hard and overheats and whatnot. But they gave Magnezone Body Press. And of course it has access to Iron Defense. So I guess like a sub Body Press like Iron Defense Thunderbolt set could be interesting. You can still trap Ferrothorn. I do think that Ferrothorn can run Bulldoze and whatnot, but like, I mean, after enough Iron Defenses, Magnezone has really good defensive stats. So, like, it can actually do that. I also think in like draft, like Magnezone has phenomenal typing in general, and I think that this is something that can be abused. But Body Press is interesting. Imagine trying to trap like a Stack Attacker with Magnezone. And you're like on an air balloon, you go for Iron Defense and you Body Press, and then you don't kill them because Body Press is not as strong as it could be. Maybe you probably will. You know, it's 4 times effective and whatnot. But I mean, it's a physical attack too. So it's coming off of physical. It's coming off of physical damage. It's coming off the defense, but it attacks from the physical side. So it's connecting the defensive stats. So I don't know. But yeah, there were more. There are definitely more in this. And if you guys want to look through it and let me know, feel free to. But that's just what I want to talk about. I want to make you guys aware of some of these cool changes that I think. Definitely the bigger ones are, what the hell, Raikou. Zapdos is big too. And then, like, you have, like, I think the Regigigas is a really cool one. Diancie and the Koko and Bulu are great as well. But, yeah, y'all can let me know your thoughts. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And like I said, if you want to pick up the Drop GP merch, I do have a sale going on because it is Valentine's Day for the weekend. This ends on the 16th. And you can use code CANDY for 10% off. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.